Hello and welcome to the Ayres minicast. We're in a world of turmoil at the moment. We're in a bit of a pandemic. Everyone is on lockdown. So obviously we can't do the podcast the way that me and Jack normally do so. So me and Jack today are going to start a little series of minicasts, which is something we could do going forward anyway, but it's at least something we're going to do until we can get the podcast back to their original recording. So minicasts go like this. We're going to talk about one topic, about 20-30 minutes of talking about one topic, and it's going to go up as an easy to consume video. And then the stuff like the podcast game show and stuff like that, that's going to have to sit on a bit of a back burner for a little bit, and that's just going to be part of the podcast. Boo. But these little mini casts are going to be pretty cool. Hopefully we'll do loads of them going forward. And you know what, once even we get out of this whole pandemic, this is quite an easy and quick thing to record. Hopefully. I mean, this is the first time of us doing it, but
I was going to say, it's taking about half an hour to set up, but other than that, So.
If it is quick and easy to record, though, we could probably do this on the quite a bit going forward as well. So
probably, yeah.
Let's see. Fingers crossed. It's
very
fingers
weird
crossed.
not
It's
being
easy
able
to do.
See, though, just talking to yourself in a sense, but get around that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm massively used to that, having made like over 1,000 videos, but obviously you've not done that, so you'll find it a little bit weird talking to yourself.
But more conversation-wise, actually have a proper conversation. It's easier to just look at someone, than it? But I suppose you do it.
Yeah, this is very much a work in progress. We'll have to see how it goes at the end of the day. So we're going to be talking about the fact that non-league football has been cancelled for the rest of the season. Like, you guys probably knew that already, but it has not only been cancelled, the whole season has been void, meaning they have completely wiped all of the results, and they've then decided to keep the leagues exactly the same next season. No one gets promoted, no one gets relegated. So to begin with, we're going to talk about like our personal playing and what that means for our two teams that we play for. So what's happening your end? Were you in a mid-table, or were you looking at relegation promotion? What's that impacted on your season?
So I was sort of in between. I spent most of the season with the twos, and then ended up with the first by the sort of latter part of us actually playing. Our second team, I think, were roughly middle of Stroud 2. Maybe middle to lower, I'm not sure, but started having a good run of games. So a bit disappointing for it to end, because it was, the momentum was going, and you potentially could have brought ourselves to a higher position. Our first team were top for the majority of the county league, the Gloucestershire County League. So in the past couple of games, I think drew. So we lost to Frampton, who were up there as well. Eventually, with the games in hand and stuff, they were third when they cancelled the league. So
right, okay.
First season in the county league, so it's a great season regardless. But
yeah,
I think it's just I think the feeling's the same for everyone. It's just very annoying, a bit. I wouldn't say it's a waste of time, because you obviously take your own lessons from your own playing and your own games.
Yeah.
But it's it's always nice to have that league table to shove in someone's face and be like, look, we're better than you, sort of thing. But I guess you sort of,
that's not going to exist.
But I mean, it's annoying, but I think you got to look at the wider picture, I think, and just take the larger lessons than just the points tally. But obviously it helps. But
being your first season in that league as well, you've shown that you can compete in that league. And even though it's frustrating that you probably could have gone on to maybe compete right at the top of that league, at least starting next season, you're already, you've got to aim now for higher, I guess. You've got to aim for that top half of the table, definitely.
Yeah, I guess, people who wouldn't really have known what Sharpness are about, they kind of do for next year, I guess. Whether that will work in our favour or not, because sometimes that element of mystery and not knowing what a team's like actually doesn't help the opposition. So but no, it was like I said, I wasn't there for the whole season, but lads put in a great shift from what I've heard. And yeah, no, it's just annoying that getting back into it, and it's ended now because I probably only had about 3-4 games with them or something. So, but next season I suppose.
I mean, but I play, for those of you that don't know, I play very much at the bottom of the football pyramid. Like, pretty much we're under the foundations of the pyramid at this point.
You are the slaves putting the pyramid up.
We are the slaves that put the pyramid up. So, our season's a little bit strange because essentially, if there's one drop of rain on our home pitch, like, we're absolutely fudged. There's nothing we can do. We can't play because it just literally is the most waterloggable pitch you're ever going to see.
Definition of
so the problem
effectively.
Yeah, so the problem we have is if we were to have continued the season, I mean, at the moment, we're in the bottom 3, but that's only because we've only played like 4 games in the league.
Yeah.
So, like, everyone around us has played like 14 games, and we've played like 3 or 4. We had a decent cup run, which ended in the semi-finals, which we got knocked out of. So, like, that was the last ever game we played, I think. So, like, it's not like we could have gone on to win the cup. We were knocked out in the semi-final. And then in the league, even if we had restarted the league by May, like the end of May, say, the football was allowed to restart and the coronavirus is all gone, we would have still been, like, having to play 3 games a week just to fit it all in and to get all of our games played. So it would have been near enough impossible anyway. So I don't think us as a team have really missed out. It's the first year that we've had our new manager. It's the first year that she's been in charge of a league side. Yeah. And, we got semi-finals of the cup. We were competing, we only lost by 1 goal to top of the league. And other games we've been losing to second and third place have again only been by 1 goal. Yeah. So realistically, we've had a season that we can look at and say, as a first season, it's been pretty decent. Yeah. I mean, for me, at the moment, obviously working away from home for a week at a time, I only get to play in a handful of the games anyway. So it's not that frustrating for me personally because I'm like, whatever. It's not even one of the big things in my life, really.
Sometimes if you're giving up your Saturday and travelling all over the place and then it's all cancelled, it's kind of, that would be more like I said, I've been sort of in and out, so it's annoying, but it's not as annoying as I imagine than it is for other players in the squad. For some, but I mean they exactly, like you were saying, they were in I think 3 cups as well, so as well as being at top of the league or near the top of the league, also in 3 cups. I think there's 5 or 6 in the year, or 4 or 5, can't remember, but it's still in 3 cups. So,
but to still be in 3 of them, it's annoying that you're now not going to see if you were able to go all the way, sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. But I think problem is you do have to it is annoying, but at the end of the day, there's a pandemic at the moment, so it's kind of very minimal. It's not really a problem, but.
Yeah, there's worse things happening in the world right now, including me trying to not get my wire tangled around this chair. There's so much bad things going on in the world right now. The football for us on a Saturday is not necessarily the most important thing.
It does mean
one thing that
there's one less thing that I have to do in the week, and just makes life really boring being at home. But.
I suppose. I mean, I'm all for being a little bit annoyed that we're at home and stuff. I mean, at the moment I'm not. I'm still having to work. But for those people that are at home, it's worth making the most of it. I mean, that's maybe something we'll talk about in another mini cast going forward. We stick to the football side of things. Elsewhere in the non-league pyramid, you've got teams that were on the brink of winning leagues. You've got some teams there's a Jersey team who were 20 points clear at the top of their table, mathematically they'd already got promoted,
Yeah.
and now they've been told that their season is void.
I'm pretty sure they played. I want to say they played like 27 or 19 or something, and won every single game.
Yeah.
And then there was another
Correct.
team up further north. They'd won every single game apart from one, which they drew. They'd mathematically got promoted, and again, like you say, won't be going up. So I don't.
So that is like massively frustrating.
I don't know whether, because it's difficult because you've got a team that obviously deserved to go up, but then if you look at the league above and there isn't a clear team that deserved to come down, it's a tough one to decide what to do. Whether you then go, right, okay, these are the teams that could have gone down, they need to have like a mini league themselves or something.
I watch a lot of I watch a lot of Spencer Owen and #United.
Yeah.
And he sat down and did a video when it first got announced that football was kind of getting cancelled, but before they had decided what to do with the league at that point.
Yeah.
And he said that, officials from the leagues will all be meeting up and deciding what's going to happen with the fixtures, blah, blah, blah. And he said they've essentially got three options. Option one, you finish the league on the standings that are right now, which wouldn't necessarily work, as I've explained with my team, where we've not played anywhere near as many games as the other teams around the league.
There's also
so
the
wouldn't really make sense.
There's also the element of like some teams have played, the top teams, and some teams have only played the bottom teams, and it's like, well, you need that sort of fairness.
So out of the three options, that was maybe the one that wouldn't really make much sense.
Yeah.
In addition to that, you've got, like, obviously it just being voided, which is what has actually happened.
Yeah.
And the other option was that they could do something where they do it based on points per game.
Yeah.
And then sort the league out from there. But as you've said, some teams might have played the really easy teams, and some teams might have played the more harder teams in the league. For example, like the teams that I had played were easily the much better teams in the league.
Yeah.
Like our four or five league games that we played, 3 of them were against the top 3.
Mm.
So that wouldn't really make much sense to do points per game there either. But in leagues where teams have all played each other once at least, and they've played the same amount of games, maybe points per game should have been used. But then you're always any of these options, you're always going to have one team or one group of fans, for example, that are really cheesed off.
There's only, the problem is it's got to be the same thing across all levels, because otherwise that then wouldn't be fair. You can't really pick and choose.
Yeah.
I think what they should do is, like they should for the sort of Premier League, just cut the amount of cup games that they've got next year. Delay next season. Let them finish this season in, I don't know, September, October, whenever it is, and then just just keep having like a delay effectively until it's all caught up, because that's the only way I see it being completely fair for everyone.
Well, what they're saying is like the National League and above. So what's that? That's the
Conference North,
fifth tier of English football and above still hasn't been decided.
So that's
like
Conference Premier and above.
Yeah.
So not Conference South and North.
Have they not been decided either?
Well, no, I don't know if that's part of the.
Well, for example, I know that the National League's not been decided. I know that then League 2, 1, Championship, Premiership have not been decided yet. So what they're going to do, because then surely the football pyramid is going to be very bottom heavy, because teams will still get relegated this year. Are we then going to end up seeing there being more teams in, as you said, Conference Premier North and South? Is there suddenly going to be more teams in those leagues because they've not relegated anyone because their seasons have been void, but then the league above them have still relegated people because they've finished their season, for example.
Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult because you can't just throw a load of extra people into a league.
No, that's the point. Like
you also can't have a league which don't have many teams in, so
it's going to make it really interesting. I reckon now it might actually get void because that decision has been made further down the footballing pyramid. Unless they just cancel out relegation. No, they can't cancel out relegations this season because then they have to cancel out promotions. And then we're just finishing a league for no reason.
The problem is you can't just. So, for example, if they went, right, okay, we'll carry on with the Premier League. We'll carry on everything as normal for Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2. And then there'd have to be a point where they say, right, okay, everything's normal apart from the bottom league, whether that's Conference Premier or whether that's League 2 or whether, whatever they decide to be the bottom of a group of leagues, and just say that league don't have any relegation, and then everything below that is void. They could do that, but I think
but that cut-off point, then you've got those players playing in those teams at the bottom of the league. What's the point?
How do you decide where
they might as well just
and all that? So
they literally have no points to fight for. They might as well just
but that's what I mean.
And then
but that's what I mean. Like, below then you then void it. But I don't see that working. I think for me, you either have to play every single game, league, whatever. You have to either play all of them or none of them, really. Otherwise, it.
Well, now that so surely the decision's been made in the lower leagues that.
Well, yeah.
That's not happening now. So does that mean now that the professional leagues don't have a decision?
Yeah, I don't. They wouldn't have to.
It's a difficult decision, isn't it?
They don't have to stick with their decision, though, surely. If they go, right, okay, actually, if we just. So, like I was saying earlier, right, we'll finish it in September. Surely they can turn around and say, yeah, we'll do that. Like, now that they've said that it's void, surely they don't have to stick to it.
No, I guess if powers above them from the FA kind of turned around and said, no, come on, we need to finish this, then they could change their ruling. But I don't see them changing a ruling. I think that this may be now set in stone, and the higher leagues are going to have to come up with something that doesn't make the leagues bottom heavy. Because imagine if there was only a certain amount of teams in the conference, for example, what we call the conference, National League, whatever they call it these days.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what happens, but
to be honest,
people that are watching,
like you said, someone out there is going to be upset regardless. So
someone's going to be annoyed. Someone's going to be extremely happy, whether they've avoided relegation or they've managed to get promotion due to how many games they've played so far. Blah blah blah. But someone's going to be annoyed. Someone's going to be happy.
The main one is Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool will be extremely unhappy if it's void. I think Manchester United will be extremely happy if it carries on because they've got a chance of getting into top 4.
But also,
with City, obviously, City's dodgy ruling.
If Liverpool don't win the league, then that's also a positive for Man United fans because that's what.
Well, yeah,
like.
the particularly annoying United fans, the immature ones, let's say. But anyway, we're going to end this mini cast there. If you guys have enjoyed, please hit a massive thumbs up on it. Make sure you're letting us know in the comments what you think is going to happen to the football pyramid in the professional game going forward over the next few months. Subscribe to this channel if you're new, and we'll see you in the next one.